welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. I'm cooking pizza tonight, but I wasn't going to do it on camera because I made a lot of pizza recipes. I am going to make my best pizza tonight, though, just so you know. But the fact that she has in her kitchen here Italian Caputo flour from 1924. It was established. I'm sure it's not that old. But Caputo flour with the Caputo yeast. I mean, this is going to be the first time I've made, really good Italian dough. So basically, I put I use this third cup measuring. So I put three in there. So I put a cup of the flour, a teaspoon of the yeast, and whatever this was, I think it was baking powder. I just threw that little of that in. She doesn't have a pizza pan here, so I'm gonna do a pizza in the pan. So then I'm gonna add just a little bit of warm water, make it a dough, let it rise for a while, come back to you and show you the next step. Okay, so I have sauteed the onions and then the tomatoes and tomato paste and some water. Fresh, those are all fresh. Fresh garlic, herbs de Provence, Italian seasoning, because it's going to be an Italian pizza. And I'm going to simmer that, and this will probably be enough for my spaghetti tomorrow night. So it'll be my spaghetti, my pizza covering in this pan here, as you can see. See that pan there? That's the pan I'm going to use right there. So there's no pizza pans here. You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you can use aluminum foil, but I'm just going to oil that. And the dough's rising. Real Italian flour, real Italian yeast, and the tomatoes, of course, as you might know today, are horrible because they mass grow them. So that means there's no flavor to them. They look red, they last a long time, but trust me, there's no nutrients in them. I've been studying this for a while. It's horrible, the foods we eat. If it's in a package, don't eat it. And you can't hardly trust what you're buying unless you go into a farmer's market. That's the answer to nutrition. It's farmers markets. Anyway, so we'll come back in a little bit and see what happens. I got a fresh mozzarella. I'm also going to throw some grated Parmesan in there. That'll be nice. This is going to be a historic pizza, by the way. I did want to mention a couple things. I'm noticing in the news a lot of food recalls. Well, if you buy anything in a package, even this, it's dangerous. You gotta watch, not this coming Monday, next Monday, or no, actually next Monday, my interview with Jim Gale. We talked about the horrendous things that are going on in the industrial food business. I mean, they're mass producing food for the masses that there's no nutrients in it, and they're adding things, horse meat to meat. They're making fake cheese. They're making fake everything. The ingredients. The rule of thumb is if it's in a package, don't eat it because it's all kind of chemicals, bad things. It's worse than you can imagine, and that's why you're seeing E. coli in foods. You're seeing recalls every day. People dying from the food because it's mass produced. You're allowed to have a certain amount of rats in the food because they're in factories and they fall in. And one rat for 10,000 pounds isn't much, but it's a little rat. It's just terrible. I hate to tell you. Go to your farmer's market. That's the only solution. Hopefully you have a farmer's market in your area, because if it's in a package, then this is probably got bad stuff in it. Even though it's solid, it's probably not that healthy anyway. I mean, this pizza I'm making is going to have my secret ingredient in it. And then what has this got in it? It's got some calcium, some iron. About 50% of nutrients are not in food anymore since the 30s. They did a study. And they test DNA of a hamburger and they find horse meat in it. It's just horrible. So anyway, I did want to mention that I made some new signs for Belize. As you know, there's hundreds around the town. These I'm going to give away on my give and get bench. and I'm sure a restaurant's going to pick this up. If you have a restaurant, wouldn't you want to put this outside your door? This makes sense. At any rate, so I don't have a grater, so I'm going to slice it very thin, and it'll be a nice little layer of that. Now, the secret to this pizza I'm making, well, one is it's got lots of great Italian elements of it, but in the 70s, I hitchhiked around the world, and one of my stops, my first stop, was in Muscatine, Iowa. I was in love, and an older lady, and it was a great romance. She had a couple kids. I'm 17 years old, right? And I tried this pizza, and it was the most amazing pizza I ever had. And I've been making it ever since. And I promise you, even if you don't like sauerkraut, you put a layer of sauerkraut in your pizza, it gives it a tanginess, it gives it a little crunch. Oh my God, it is the best pizza. And so she happens to have, well, she had the Italian food and flour, as you saw. She happened to have the sauerkraut here. Isn't that lovely? And look at that name. What a lovely name. Del Monte. So I used to go by Monte. My whole life I've been Monte. And Monte's served me very well. People love the name Monte. I always can tell what people are into. If they're into food, they related my name to Del Monte. If they're into comedy, they would relate it to Monty Hall. If they had a lot of class and traveled the world, they related to Monte Carlo. So I always tell where people were coming from by how they related to Monty. But that was the old me. That was the guy that was sometimes not so kind. You know, we're not always kind in our life, you know. And I may have not been kind to my wife. I was always kind to my kids. Never beat them. I was the best father. I wasn't the best husband. I got to tell you that. You know, we all have our weaknesses. But I've turned a new leaf, and I'm the ambassador of kindness to planet Earth. You know, we all can mend our ways, as they say. And as you can see, it's a lot more work slicing, very thin. But when in Rome, she doesn't have a grater. She has a food processor. Get some nice stuff here. I've done a lot of cooking episodes here, of course, around the world, as you know. Egypt. This episode today that aired, of course, I watched it. It's my show. The Complete Guide to Happiness. The cooking episode, because every week I have a cooking episode I put in, was from Cairo. And it's always great to watch these videos. I got 5 years of videos on Be Fantastic YouTube that is really funny because it reminds me of what I did. That particular one today reminded me that I went to the Giza Zoo, had the most amazing time. You know, as I traveled during COVID, this is when I first started traveling, I would always be lucky enough, because nobody was going to the zoos and the museums and the parks, to meet the person in charge. The pyramids, whatever. And I always got these fantastic private tours. And of course I made a video of each one of them, so my fans, or my followers, or my friends, whoever's watching, would get to enjoy a free trip to the zoo, or a free museum. Lots of museums. Cairo Museum. God, I have so much fun in Egypt. I have fun every day. I have fun wherever I go. You gotta have fun. Life is too short. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. So I don't know if I told you, I made enough sauce for my, because I'll have spaghetti tomorrow. So 2 nights of Italian. I put some herbs de Provence, which is an Italian, it's French, but pretty much the same, you know, type of ingredients. It'll be delicious, I promise you. She didn't like hot sauce, so I had to make my own hot sauce. Bought some serrano peppers. And when you take a fresh serrano or jalapeno, you want to kind of like boil them a little bit, soften them up, then put them with some vinegar, and then you've got a hot sauce. As you can see, this is a lot of work. is enough, I think. Seems I'm using 2 cheeses. I also have Swiss cheese, but you don't put Swiss cheese on pizzas. I got feta cheese. You know, you can always put some feta on it. You know, 5 cheeses are always. I think that's enough. Anyway, and of course, with the sauerkraut, you always want to squeeze it. I'm not ready for that yet, but so I'll tune back in a little bit when I'm ready to do the dough, and we'll assemble it. Still early. Did I cover my bases? Like I told you about the signs, told you about the horrible things that is happening in the food business. It's so sad. And YouTube is the most amazing source of information. You know, I mean, you'd think Italy and France, some of the best foods in the world, and these people are, it's food fraud. They're faking food. They're making extra virgin olive oil from Spanish oil, not from Italian. They're making cheese. They're putting, that's pretty good. They're putting things in cheese to expand it. I think I said this earlier. Tuna is pink because they're injecting it with nitrates. Ham. I love ham. Ham is always pink. They have beautiful labels of pink ham. Ham is gray, but they inject nitrates in it, which causes cancer, so it looks pink, because you won't buy gray ham. No one, they can't sell it to you. They'll go out of business. No one will buy it. So you'd rather buy pink ham and get cancer. It's a crazy world. And you know, I call it the insanity of humanity. It's insane. What the people are doing for money. It's all for money. Farmers markets are not for money. Hopefully they'll break even, but they're doing something they love. They're growing fresh food. And if there's no nitrate, if there's no nutrients in the food, there's no health to it. And you have to have nutrients in the soil for it to transfer from the seed into the plant to have flavor. Nutrients. Okay, here we go. So you want to grease the pan, and I use olive oil, a little bit of olive oil. And you could use one of those basting brushes, or I just like to use my fingers because I'm going to use my fingers on the dough. You know, chefs use their fingers, and they put their finger in the dish and they taste it. You know, it is what it is. So this will keep it from sticking, and it's a deep dish. So there's the dough. I don't toss it in the air and spin it and all that stuff. I just basically place it in the pan. In Antigua, I don't even have a pan with sides. It's flat. It all works out. So basically, I'm just going to spread out the pizza evenly so it encompasses the whole pan. Put a little bit too much oil in there, but that's okay. Not going to hurt it. Give it more flavor, maybe. Okay, looks like I've got it pretty much to the edges. I like the crust. There we go. You can go up in the edges if you want. I don't need to. Next step is the sauce. This is nice and thick. Spaghetti sauce is usually a little thinner. I put a nice layer on it. You know, they make these pizzas with almost, you can't. So little sauce, it's ridiculous. Not me, I put a lot of sauce on it. That's why my pizzas are the best, because there's so much goodies in it. So I'm going right to the edge. Nice layer of meat, vegetables, tomato. We got garlic in there. Did I tell you I put garlic? Yeah, fresh garlic. Oh, this is going to be a killer pizza. Now, here's the secret coming up, guys. Here's the secret. Man, even if you don't like sauerkraut, even if you don't like it, by the way, I cooked up, chopped up some fresh parsley. Even if you don't like sauerkraut, pizza's delicious. Well, however you make your pizza, just put a layer of sauerkraut in it. You want to get all the juice out though. You want it to be kind of dry. So just with your fists, get the kids involved. They like to play with their hands. And a nice layer of sauerkraut. You know, cooking, it's gotta be fun. Get the family in there, experiment. They have this pizza in Santa Monica, California, where I'm from. And after it's done, it's like a salad. They put every lettuce, you can put anything you want on a pizza. It's one of the most popular foods in the world. About a half a can looks like in there. I don't think you could put too much. I'll tilt it up so you can see it in case you can't see it. You know, it's all about just even distribution. I've seen some really great chefs cooking 2 or 3 steaks, and they just throw some spice there, and it misses 1 or 2 of them. It's like, come on. I'm just a perfectionist, but okay, there we go. Take a look at that. Okay? Now, cheese, the fromage. Now, usually if it's grated, I'm just gonna roll it on there. But that's sliced, I gotta make sure that I cover the whole pizza. And I've got the Parmesan as well. This is gonna be a nice, cheesy, deep crust pizza. Got hot. I make this at home. I take olive oil and I put hot peppers in it and marinate it like they do at the French restaurants. And you drizzle the olive oil, hot olive oil, spicy olive oil onto the pizza. It's fantastic. Really fantastic. Looks like, you know, I don't know if I'm lucky or good, but it always seems like I always cook enough, just enough, that covers everything. Does the job it's supposed to do? I don't know. Maybe just experience, because as you see, I didn't cut the whole thing up. In Antigua, when I buy my pizza, they have a pre-portioned $2 for a package of shredded mozzarella. Well, it always works out perfect. The $2 covers a pizza perfectly. Oh, look at that. There you go. Look at that. I did it. It's perfect. Again, let me show you. That is going to be delicious. Now, I'm going to throw a little Parmesan. Not a whole lot, but just to fill in just for shits and giggles, you know. Go around with Parmesan. I think this is going to be monumental. There you go. That's going to go in the oven for 15, 20 minutes. I got extra cheese for another dish. Expensive here. Everything's expensive in the Middle East. I tell you, it's amazing. I'm going to put the parsley on as a final touch. That's it. I'll show you the end result in a little bit. Okay, it's time for the great reveal. Now, the fact that I should have poured out a little of the oil might have made it soft, so I'm not sure if when I take it out, if it's going to be too soft on the inside and fall apart. I'm not stressing about it. But I did want to mention a couple things real quick. I was just watching the news here, and they have a company called Apartment Deco, I think it is. I already forgot. Anyway, it's been around 10 years, and they resurface and redo furniture. So it's fantastic. I mean, I'm an eco artist. I like to take things that are trash and make nice things out of it. And you can save 50% on furniture because it's been remodeled. You know, used is fantastic, especially when you make it beautiful. People throw away way too much stuff. It's amazing. So anyway, time for the great reveal. Let's see what happens. This pan's very heavy. There we go. Now, I didn't tell you, but I almost forgot to put what I like on top of the pizza before cooking is red onions. and jalapenos. I don't have jalapenos. I made that special serrano pepper. So this is the end result. I think you can see it there. And let's see if it comes out of the pan with all that. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I think I did it. Another success. Dang, that's heavy. So there you go there. That's the pizza. And I made, of course, some what do you call it? Parsley. Can't go wrong with a little parsley on it, right? If you don't like parsley, don't put parsley on it. It's so simple. Cooking is so simple. That does it pretty darn good. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, it's looking pretty good. It's got a nice thick crust to it. Let's see here. Now, of course, look at that. Wow. Fantastic. You don't want to burn yourself. I know you're excited. Oh, but I was going to mention, you notice the oven's off now. Conserving energy. All we have is energy, and we don't have enough energy. So whenever I'm cooking eggs or anything, the last couple minutes, I turn off the heat and let the pan's heat finish the dish. The last 5 minutes, I turned off the heat. Let it sit for 5 minutes. It's still about the same temperature, but you're saving energy. It's called use less of everything. Use less toothpaste. A third less, I call it the third rule. It lasts 3 times longer, costs a third of the money, third less trash in the ground. Use a third less of everything. You don't need that much. A third less of shoes. Here goes. I tell you. Oh. Yeah. Wow. And I'm going to have that little spice that I like. You don't like spice? Don't put spice in it. Oh. That crunch of the sauerkraut. A little tanginess. Man. Oh. That's killer. Oh. Eating, one of life's fantastic pleasures. Learn how to cook. You want me to teach you? Call me up. I'll teach you how to cook. Follow my recipes. I promise you, you'll love them. I don't always measure. Cooking, baking, you have to measure. But cooking, you just have fun with it. And typically I have a drink, so in case it didn't come out well, not up to bum, but I'm going to try not to drink this week. So many calories in alcohol, you know. Listen, don't beat yourself up too often. Don't beat yourself up at all. Look in the mirror every morning and say, I am fantastic. Fantastic makes you smile, which makes you look fantastic and feel fantastic. The smile releases dopamine and neuromessaging units that reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Be fantastic. That's all I gotta tell you. Enjoy cooking, enjoy life, enjoy every day, and make sure you watch the complete guide to happiness, because I can show you how to be happy. Watch and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Like and share. And thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.